What's happening, everybody? This is another episode of Open Field. I'm your host, Early Cofield. I'm here with my boy Riddell, my man, the Donnie, and of course, one of my favorite people, Mr. Lonnie. Hey, today is going to be a fun episode. We'll get into sorry about the thumbnail. It'll be changed by the time you probably see this second time around. Today we're going to get into a little bit of defense and talking about the best defensive players in the game, top 25 going into 2024. So this will be predicated off of what they have, what they lost. You know, this is all our projection. This is not about what you've shown me. This is about what I'm expecting of you this year. Today's gonna be a fun time. How you guys feeling?
Feeling good. Feeling good.
Yeah,
That's
man.
good, man.
I'm doing good.
If you haven't seen Saturday's show about Eli, please go watch. It's one of the more entertaining shows we've ever had. Great job by the guys. I'm sorry I couldn't be there. I'm almost pissed off I couldn't be there because it was absolutely amazing. Start the topic off though. One of the main topics we talk about our boy Mike Tomlin. Well, not our boy. I say our boy is an our boy, if you know what I mean. Mike Tomlin got another 3-year extension. So another year of the Steelers keeping the same guy and keeping the foundation strong. One of the more better franchises when it comes to just the foundation being the same and not changing too much up. Just a sturdy foundation. I think there's a stat where they only got like 3 or 4 coaches in their entire tenure since the 60s. Something crazy like that. That's absolutely amazing, man. Especially when it's teams that go through 2 or 3 coaches in 3 years. How do we feel about Mike Tomlin on the coaching tree of all-time greatest coaches?
I
mean, I feel like he should be not anything crazy, but I mean, throwing out a number out there, saying something like top 20 doesn't sound too crazy to me. I mean, he is one of the better coaches that we've seen, period. There's something to say, even though he's not always getting to the mountaintop of winning consistent Super Bowls, even though he did win.
Is his biggest thing the bowls, Riddell? Is that why if he had 3 or 4 of them, you would look at him higher?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, I think it's a huge part. I mean, I value playoffs extremely. I value way more than the regular season, but winning Super Bowls puts you at a different echelon, right? But I mean, the fact that he hasn't had a losing season in his entire career, despite all the changes that's going on, coming and having a lot of variety with the type of teams. Some are very defensive heavy, some are pretty balanced, some offense heavy. Like he just regardless of the talent, regardless of the type of team, they're winning games, which is impressive. So Tomlin was definitely a great, for sure. Crazy career.
I mean, I guess I'll just kind of take it away from there. Listen, I know Steelers fans haven't been the biggest fan of Tomlin, over the last few years because the Steelers are truly one of the best franchises in American sports. If we're talking about history-wise, I mean, 6 Super Bowls, countless all-time Hall of Fame players. You could argue they have one of the best defensive players of all time.
Shout out to the Blanks.
Sean Green. There's tons and tons of defensive talent. The Steel Curtain, obviously. And, Terry Bradshaw, 4-time Super Bowl champion. I mean,
what's the Steelers owner's name again?
I'm bad with owners, but I'll look it up.
I got you. You can keep going. I'll look it up.
I'm pretty sure is it the Ronnie family or something?
Rooney
family. That's it. Yeah, like the Steelers are one of the most pristine sports franchises in American sports. So, when you do constantly have winning records, it is a nice thing for sure. However, playoff success, and I think you should expect playoff success when you are this franchise. However, with the talent on the roster, I think he's done a great job. I mean, made the playoffs last year with a first-round bust in Kenny Pickett, who's now the backup on Philly. And he didn't make that pick, by the way. It's not like Tomlin made that pick. That was the GM. And if anything, I don't think he really wanted him that much based on the reports. But, he's the coach and he has to rock with it. But I think it's fine. Like, that's all we have to say. Steelers fans are getting upset. They're saying he needs a new change of scenery. And while I do think that is kind of true, he would get picked up so fast if you decided to let him go. So that's all I really have to say.
When it comes to Tomlin, I do think he's probably like top 20, if not higher. To me, he's one of the more versatile coaches because he can really make a team that should not be competitive. And that's coaching right there. But I also feel like when you look at like the history of the Steelers, he might be one of the more unlucky coaches because of the front office. Because you look at it from the beginning, they kept Big Ben 2 years too long. They did that out of, you could call that nostalgia or whatever. Big Ben couldn't throw past like 10 yards, and he couldn't move, but they still kept him around. Antonio Brown, he crashed out. That's not on Tomlin. Le'Veon Bell wanted more money. They didn't want to pay it. That's not on Tomlin. Martavius Bryant, who we forgot, like, because he was balling, but he couldn't stay off the weed, so he had to get cut.
My bad. Just got home from my grandparents.
Very good. And you see, like, some of their high-profile picks. Like, I think a few years, like, I want to say, like, 8 or so years ago, they had, like, a number 3 pick, ended up being, like, a bust. Like, so they've gotten unlucky sometimes in terms of, like, the draft and, like, the front office decisions. But at the same time, he still has a winning season, no matter what's thrown at him. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have picked Kenny Pickett if he had a choice. They did, because we all know, like, he went to Pittsburgh, same facility. They see him every day, shaking hands all the time, stuff like that. So we know what
he was the best out of a weak bunch too.
Yeah,
that wasn't a good draft class anyway.
Good draft period.
You know what?
It
wasn't a good quarterback draft. It was a good.
Oh yeah, that was a great
good
draft.
for a lot of us.
So when it comes to like everything that he's dealt with, could he have done more? Like, because do I think that in another world that Le'Veon, Antonio Brown, Big Ben team might be at a Super Bowl at least? Yeah, but at the same time, he's in one of the most competitive eras of all time because he was around with Peyton, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, now Patrick Mahomes, but at the same time he's only 52.
Andrew Luck.
Yeah, Andrew. So at the same time he's only 52. Like we see some of these coaches like Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick, Sean Payton. They're playing in their late 60s to 70s, and he still has like what, 2 rings?
Yeah, he has 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah. So Andy Reid had a big drought until he found a franchise level quarterback. If Mike Tomlin's winning with Kenny Pickett, imagine if he finally gets another franchise winning quarterback. Like then who knows what he could do.
How to get a franchise quarterback?
Wait, no. That's
the problem.
Tomlin has one Super Bowl, right?
What?
He only has 1 Super Bowl. Tomlin?
Yeah.
2.
Yeah,
yes, 2.
The Super Bowl.
No, it's 1. The one in 05.
The Super Bowl in 08.
The one in 05 was still
He's been to 2. He has 1.
I mean, still technically because
he been twice.
He
He lost to the Packers. He beat the Cardinals, but he only got 1.
Yeah. He beat the Cardinals. Lost.
Am I tripping? Wait, he was on the.
The one in 05 was Bill Cowher.
He was on the roster, but he wasn't the head coach.
Okay, he wasn't. Oh, God, I thought he was a
on the
coordinator. That's on me.
Yeah, he was on the. Also, something else I will say about the Tomlin thing. I do think, and obviously it's a matter of the fact of them constantly being 9-8, 10-7, that they have been very unlucky with who they've been playing in the playoffs over the last. I mean, you look at the last 4 playoff opponents. The Bills,
draft picks.
like, I mean, what are you going to do? You're playing Josh Allen. There's just not much you can do. You're going to lose that game. And then the Chiefs, Mahomes. Just it's unlucky, but you got to play those 2. The Browns is the one exception. The Browns is the one exception because of the fact that you should have beaten that team and you let them just walk over you in the first quarter. And then, Saxonville, not really a game you're going to win, just a better team. So, yeah, I think they've been pretty unlucky with the playoffs over the last few years in terms of that. However, that goes back into the fact that they're always around the 7th seed, the 6th seed. And when you're that low of a seed, you're going to play the top dogs. And that's why
when you're in a place where you're going 10-6, 9-7, you never get like a dominant draft pick. You'll never get like a Caleb Williams who can completely just revamp the franchise.
And that makes it worse.
I've been telling Steelers fans forever. I think if I could choose one team in the NFL to go like 2-15, and it would benefit them more than anyone, it would be the Steelers. They need to go like 3-14 for a season because, oh my God, would it help them so much? Unfortunately, probably not this upcoming year because, lack of quarterbacks, but still, this is a team that just needs a top.
I think that's the blessing and curse of Mike Tomlin because he's such a competitor and culture guy. He will refuse to lose and like to tank, and you want that as a coach. Like you want a coach like to like Florida and like he's a Super Bowl caliber coach in my opinion. If you give him for the players because if he's able to win this many games, be 500, always have a winning record. But the thing is, the Steelers are stuck in purgatory, and that's one of the worst things you can be in sports, in my opinion. You're not good enough to win a Super Bowl, but not bad enough to like get a high draft pick. That's why you end up with the Kenny Pickett's of the world, or like mediocre draft picks. He's a high floor laser, and like he can elevate defense. I feel like I understand the Steelers, they don't fire their coaches. They do mutual parties, and I understand Steelers fans' frustration a little bit just from this aspect because I'm happy he got his extension because I think the Steelers want to like. I think Steelers fans want to be bad for a year, like you guys said. I think they want to be bad and retool because you have a defense, you're a fairly young team, you have young receivers, but I don't see them winning Super Bowl with Russell Wilson and Orange Fields, especially in this division because Lamar Jackson's still in his prime, the Browns are still the Browns, and even though Joe Burrow when you heard the Bengals are still tough, and that's just in their division. I haven't even talked about the Chiefs, the Texans, the Colts, and these other teams in the AFC. So it's like a gauntlet. It's like there's really no room in these next 3 to 4 years. You can see the Steelers probably coming close to the Super Bowl, in my opinion. That's just my that's just in my opinion. And like even if they do somehow make the Super Bowl, are they going to beat like a Eagles, 49ers, or the Bears in the future? So that's just me.
Go ahead, Ronnie, and I'll go after you.
Because you can argue that they might have had the best draft this year out of any team. They had a decent draft last year with Joey Porter and.
I said they won the draft this year.
Yeah, I thought they were either first or second.
I think they got 4 plus starters. I think you can say, or at least 3, and then Roman can be a good slot. Like 3 plus starters and then a potential good slot receiver. I think that's
I'm gonna steal some of Riddell's headcanon here. Because if you look at some other teams, the Cowboys got a lot of people to pay. They got a lot of people to pay. CD apparently is top on their list. Micah Parsons. They got some left tackles and stuff like that. So there's a chance that Dak might be out their price range.
You know what is funny about that? I'm pretty sure the Steelers are top 5 in the NFL in cap space.
Yeah, so
it should be.
That'd be very. Lonnie, I never really thought about that, man. Like I think that's a great point. I never thought about that at all, and I think that makes so much sense if you're Pittsburgh. Russell's only on a 1-year deal. You canceled Fields' 5th-year option, so he only has 1 year left too. You bring in Dak, and I bet Dak would love to play for Mike Tomlin. I bet he would. So I think honestly the O-line's improving by the day. They drafted Fatanu. They drafted Frazier from West Virginia, who I think can be a good starting guard or center right away. You have James Daniels, who's a good player.
Looks good.
Roderick Jones last year. The O-line is definitely rebuilding, and the run game should improve along with that. I mean, why not? Honestly, Lonnie, I think you might be cooking, man.
Hey, Dak a Steeler, that might be plug and play AFC Championship with this roster. With this roster, you got TJ Watt, you still got Hayward, you got Joey Porter coming up. The offensive line is gonna be nasty. You got a good running back duo, arguably a top 5 running back duo in the league, because I think Warren's gonna take another step. Like if they can get a Dak next year, they can make some noise, and Tomlin finally have a good franchise quarterback again.
I think for me, do the whole rundown. First and foremost, if you see this clip or this clip of Lonnie on any TikTok spaces, Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers organization, do not listen to him. I'm gonna tell you why. First of all, let me give you an overall view of what I think of Mike Tomlin, of his all-timeness. I think he's a top 10 to 17 coach, right? Here's my overview of Mike Tomlin. since the moment Mike Tomlin came to the league, I was a true believer of the same way I felt about Steve Kerr. That Bill Cowher team was built like they would have won a Super Bowl in the next 3 to 4 years, regardless. Like a lot of those players that Mike Tomlin got were literally just leftover players. The coaching staffs were very similar. The defensive coach they had for years. I want to say he was old too for a long time, man. They had a foundation that was already built there, right? But as they continue to win and continue to put pieces in place, I realized that Mike Tomlin was a hell of a coach. And I think my biggest thing about Mike Tomlin is I think that one of the Pittsburgh things have always been strong is their defense. Always been one of the greater defensive teams in general. And I'm a guy who growing up in the 2000s, well, basically, watching them in the 2000s as a 90s baby, Pittsburgh was always going to have a good. It wasn't so many years where you wasn't going to play the Pittsburgh Steelers and it was going to be a problem. Even now, Pittsburgh easily have a top 10 defense. Easily. The thing about Pittsburgh was literally just a quarterback. I think their biggest problem, and Mike Tomlin's biggest problem, was that relationship he had with Ben. I think he trusted Ben too much because I think one of the things that makes the Packers so good is that they always are looking for the next guy a year early. Like even when, remember, Rodgers was upset when they went and got Jordan Love in the first round. He was coming off MVP seasons. Like, what I get him for? And it was like, look, man, you good, but just know that it's going to be a day when you leave, and we don't want to be stranded. And I think that's one of the Pittsburgh's biggest problems in Mike Tomlin's tenure, not having that quarterback. Now, I do believe getting Russell Wilson was great because you got Justin Fields with him. And if you watch any of the, if you got any of the news out of the training camp, they are like big brother, little brother. He is coaching up Justin Fields. He believes in Justin Fields. He thinks Justin Fields will have his own packages now to get his confidence going. I think Justin Fields, my biggest thing is that I don't know if Mike Tomlin is a quarterback guru, so they need to get a quarterback guru type of mind in that organization. I think you can really have a franchise player in Justin Fields, guys. Like I think what I've seen from him at Ohio State, what I've seen from him like in spurts, I think you can be your guy. I think don't get a Dak at 31, 32, 33. I think try to figure this thing out with Justin Fields, man. Honestly, I think try to get a quarterback guru in this building, an ex-quarterback. One of these guys, I watch guys like Tony Romo talk about ball like they still on the field. Like, try to put some money into one of these guys' hands who is a quarterback guru. A lot of people don't even understand that with Kellen Moore coming out of Boise State. Kellen Moore played behind Tony Romo and played behind Dak and literally just never touched the field. But was always a quarterback who we looked at coming out of college and like, oh, he was a pretty good quarterback. I think those type of guys are spread around the NFL to where you can get those guys to help Fields out. Just get Fields timing together, and it can be a different ball game. I watched Lamar from year one to now change. I just think Lamar had the right foundation around him. And I think I disagree with Donnie in this. I disagree with Dev in this way. Pittsburgh is easily the second best team. With a legit quarterback, Pittsburgh is the second best team in that division. Mostly because I don't trust Joe Burrow's health and their O-line. I do not trust the Browns and their situation. The Browns will Brown. And the only thing I trust about the Ravens is that they've been, like the Steelers, had a great foundation. But when it comes down to the wire, I am a little afraid for Lamar Jackson. As great as he can be in the regular season, 2-time MVP, I am afraid for what's to come when it's time to have a shootout or when it's time to actually use your ability to get the ball down the field to win a game. So I do believe that Pittsburgh is actually very close. I think the biggest what if is Justin Fields. And I do understand by getting a quick fix in Dak Prescott, but let's be real. What have Dak shown us to say that he could be the guy to get you over the top? Lonnie, what has Dak done for you? Because if you're talking about a plug and play, do we forget Dak is easily the Jason Tatum of the NFL? He's easily had some of the best, not only offensive lines,
was unnecessary.
Offenses built around him.
Okay, and what do the Steelers got? They got a great offensive line. They got a great defense, a good secondary.
They don't have a great offensive line.
No, they did a lot in the draft to address that.
But is it prime Dak, Tyrone Smith? Like, is it prime Dak when they had? Come on, guys. I watched the Cowboys have 3 or 4 Pro Bowlers in the Pro Bowl year after year
Yeah, and if you put Mike Tomlin, if Mike Tomlin coaches those teams, what happens?
But you know what you say though. But you cannot say that, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because of Mike Tomlin told them keep. Is Jerry Jones still the owner? I don't give a damn if you get Andy Reid in there. I don't give a damn if you dig up the body of motherfucking.
Yeah, but Jerry Jones isn't actually there, like calling
Vince
the plays.
Lombardi.
He's not there actually calling the plays. He's not
Jerry
there.
Jones is the owner. He will restrict you.
Yeah, but he's not calling the plays. He's not dealing with time management.
Riddell, as a 30-year-old man, do we remember a time when we believed in Mike McCarthy?
Yeah, when he had Aaron Rodgers.
But did we ever look at Mike McCarthy and say, "Oh, you just got Aaron"? Did we do that for him though? He goes to the Cowboys, and now everybody who knows him from this era,
last few years,
they see some shit. It's almost like somebody watching a T.O. I'm not T.O., but a T.I. or somebody, one of these older rappers, and they go like, "This nigga suck." It's like you wasn't there when he was riding with his seat down.
Let's not forget the last few years of Mike McCarthy on the Packers. The last few years, he was mid. He became archaic and he became stuck in his ways, and that's why they were failing, because he would not evolve with the game. Mike Tomlin, no matter what has happened, he's evolved with the game. Whether it's had strong offenses, defenses, balance, whatever, he shifted his approach, and he's more flexible than Mike McCarthy is. Mike McCarthy was very archaic. That's why he got cut from the Packers, because he would not change.
But we also got to understand that Mike Tomlin came into a situation where he had a Big Ben, and he was able to ride Big Ben for years.
Yes, but then eventually what happened? Then eventually things changed, and he couldn't do that anymore.
So we don't know what Big Ben, what Mike Tomlin looks like with a quarterback. Like we don't know what he looks like with the quarterback or with a guy.
Well, like, we know without one, he still has a winning record. We know without one, he still wins. So I'm saying you put someone that actually has that, because compared to Mike McCarthy, better time management, better play calling in high pressure moments. If you put that coach in to those situations, because let's not forget a few years ago what happened with Dak when there was under 2 minutes left, and they just completely folded. Folded.
With that, do we think Dak's biggest concern, Lonnie, is that he just plays for the Cowboys?
No, that's all I'm saying. Because I feel like you can still win because I consider Dak top 15. I don't think that's crazy to say he's like a top 15 quarterback. He's not. I'm not. He's in that range. So it's like we've seen a Jared Goff who's top 15 go to a Super Bowl under the right circumstances. We've seen other quarterbacks. We've seen Brock Purdy, who's top 15, go to a Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts has been to a Super Bowl. So it's like he's not like super far off from
Lonnie,
those guys.
even with Jared Goff, right? First of all, again, what you're missing out on is this. Mike McCarthy is a quarterback. I don't think we understand how important it is when you get a coach who can whisper to your quarterback and change. Like I watch Andy Reid.
And Mike Tomlin can't do that?
No, he can't. When has he done it? He let Big Ben. If Mike Tomlin, I'm gonna be real with you. If Mike Tomlin was anything of a quarterback whisperer, he would have known it was time for Big Ben to get the fuck out of there. He depended on Big Ben.
I don't think Mike Tomlin had the whole say on that. I think what the GM and the owner also had a say, and so it's like if he gets overruled, he gets overruled. Like
for me, a guy like Andy Reid made Michael Vick a passing quarterback. Like when you have those type of guys who is literally can coach up your quarterback, it makes a difference. Mike Tomlin is a defensive coach, and because he is a defensive coach, the defense will always be good. We said the same thing about your boy Bill Belichick. You had a Tom Brady, so it was very easy for you. I'm gonna get these defenses together. When you know for a fact,
who looked worse, Bill Belichick without Tom or Mike without Zay?
Let me say this: if you know for a fact your wife is gonna cook the main dish, right? The wife is gonna cook the steak, gonna cook the chicken, gonna cook the turkey. I'll figure the sides out, my boy. If I know I can depend on my wife cooking that main dish, she gonna always have the main dish. Again, the turkey, the chicken, the steak, the lamb, whatever, the meatloaf. She gonna always have the main dish. Did I figure these sides out? I switch it up. Might be mac and cheese now. Might be mashed potatoes now. It's so ezy to cook the sides. But when you have that main dish, it's easy. For Bill Belichick, you had Tom Brady, so you knew all I gotta do basically defense is right. I ain't gotta worry about time. The moment I had to worry about a quarterback too, you see how it turned out. And I think with Mike Tomlin, my biggest concern is with a guy like Dak ain't good enough. Now Mike Tomlin gets gets a Joe Burrow, a Josh Allen, I think he can say, "Hey, Josh, you do you. I'm gonna make sure this motherfucking defense is right, and we're gonna get you there. We just need you when it matters." But with a guy like that, you're gonna have to help coach Dak. I don't think niggas say Dak ain't good enough to do it by himself. You're gonna have to coach him up when times get right.
But with the Steelers have around him, but like towards your analogy, so like if Big Ben was like that 5-course meal without all the sides and stuff like that, after Big Ben, what did Tomlin have? He had Spam, he had government cheese, he had coupons. Like he didn't have shit, but he still made it work. He still put food on the table. He still gave you winning seasons without that. So if you give him something that's viable
of the drafting,
what
is Mike Tomlin in charge of the drafting?
No, but they've also drafted bad at points.
Mike Tomlin has a say in the drafting, doesn't he? He has a say in the draft. He does,
I believe. But like,
I believe that, and Mike Tomlin, for me, like I said, I believe that I just think that Pittsburgh don't have nobody in there, and you got to be just Mike Tomlin because again, you could be a great coach and have somebody underneath you that can help with the coaching when it comes to the quarterback. I got the quarterback over here, but I do believe that with Mike Tomlin, I think that they ain't got nobody. I think Pittsburgh don't have nobody in the room when it comes to that. And again, you think Dak is not good enough to get you there. Like and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let Riddell go. In this era, what I've noticed, and I've said this to J-Rob before, you don't have the leniency of having a Trent Dilfer year where the defense leads you all the way there. With these quarterbacks nowadays, you're gonna have to play somebody at some point in your playoff run who's gonna have to have a shootout, and you're gonna have to beat him. Whether it be Aaron Rodgers right now, whether it be Josh Allen, whether it be Joe Burrow, whether it be Lamar Jackson, whether it be C.J. Stroud coming, whether it be Patrick Mahomes, you're going to have a shootout and figure it out. You will not be able to
who's the quarterback? Because I don't think it's Russ, and I don't think Justin Fields is going to be there by next year.
I think so. I think they're hiring him.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Justin Fields can still be on the team too. At the end of the day, what Mike Tomlin can win with a lot of different types of quarterbacks. I mean, he's even won when the Pittsburgh Steelers defense wasn't great. Like the years with Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell, those defenses weren't as good as usual Pittsburgh defenses. You could argue they were a bad defense, and they were still winning games, making the playoffs, all that good stuff. The fact is, Tomlin can win with pretty much any type of quarterback, but he does need a certain type of quarterback to kind of take matters into their own hands. Someone like that. I don't think Dak Prescott's that guy. I think if I was picking, I would bet on Fields. Fields is only like 24 still, instead of giving a bag to Dak Prescott. I think Justin Fields is the better bet in that situation.
And it's not that I don't believe in Fields, by the way. Like I believe in Fields, but I don't know if he can be top tier that like the Steelers need to get over the hump. I think he can be a starter for sure. But I don't know if he can be up there to compete with like Mahomes and Stroud and Lamar and Burrow. I don't know if he can get there.
I think that then there's a difference between him and Lamar is like one, Lamar only played like a couple of games as rookie and he took like a massive jump his second year, like an astronomical jump to an MVP. And like the thing with Justin Fields is like his work versus like him and Lamar. Like I said, I'm not gonna say I'm low on him or like don't believe in him. I don't think he's I think that him being a franchise quarterback like what you said, like top 5, top 10. I don't see that because based on what I see him on the film and all stuff. And I do agree it's been tampered, and I don't think it's because it's his fault earlier on there when I say that. I think it is due to a situation kind of like you can break a quarterback or break a player, you know what I mean? So I don't think it's his fault. It's just he's broken right now, and he needs a lot of fixing. He needs fixing, and that's okay. And can he become something good? And like I think his rushing ability would be utilized. I think he needs to be schemed up. So like let's say they make a scheme to like heighten his abilities to the best, since he is like right now he does struggle with sometimes processing or like his pocket presence from time to time. I think once he develops that, gets more reps, and then he will be like serviceable to win because, like you said, if the Steelers defense top 10, they have a good rushing game. We've seen non-top 10 quarterbacks win Super Bowl or contend for Super Bowls, like a la Brock Purdy, and then all these other guys. It would be hard. It's gonna, like I said, it's gonna be hard to win one because we're in an era of Mahomes, Allen, Joe, CJ, Lamar. So it's gonna be hard to win one because those top 5 guys are always gonna be contending. But there is a world where the Steelers can win because they have the coaches, the coaching, and I think they might go after Dak if it isn't developing because, like what Lonnie said, I don't think Dak's a bad option. It's just that if they do go after Dak, then that says something because, like, hey, maybe Justin Fields isn't developing as fast as he needs to, and it's like it'll be easier to get rid of him because he's not his contract not expensive, so trying as a bridge. But I think they're gonna keep Fields because like you said, he's only 24, very cheap contract. You use Russell Wilson as a rental, try the Fields train for a little bit, and then I think the Steelers are in a better position than we think because they can go multiple ways. So
I just feel like Justin Fields is the best probably talent quarterback they've had in the building since Ben Roethlisberger. I think unless you have a surefire guy who could get you there, I would like. I understand why the Jets took a chance on Aaron Rodgers because again, that's a guy who can honestly get you there. Even a Kirk Cousins, and why I said Kirk Cousins because that's the stability that they need. They would be better off with a guy like Kirk Cousins, who's a smart cerebral player. Kirk's going to make sure he gets the job done. Like, but what coaches like Mike Tomlin, my biggest fear with defensive coaches nowadays is that when you go against the Sean McVays, when you go against the Andy Reids, and it comes to a point where we have to go quarterback for quarterback, a lot of times those guys always lose to the ladder. They lose to Sean McVays. They lose to the fucking Kyle Shanahan's because they are better offensive coaches. And when the game comes down to the wire, their quarterback, they can help their quarterback get you. They can get the right offensive sets to get me over the hump. So with a team like Tomlin, he needs a surefire quarterback. And if you don't have that, dog, just try to put some investment into Justin Fields, honestly.
So like a surefire quarterback, or like you said, coordinator. So like let's say I had like a Ben Johnson right now for that Steelers offense. Then it's like I see what you mean early. Like either because Tomlin's a defensive coach, that's why you need like a offensive guy. So like a la one of those coordinators, those star coordinators that can help your quarterback, help your offense.
Oh, I mean, maybe. To be fair, the Ravens they did what they did with the defensive type coaching. So
he's a special teams coach.
Yeah, and I mean he had a great defensive coordinator, and now he's coaching a different team. And then the offensive coordinator, I believe, is still there. So we'll see how that goes. He's pretty good as well. But yeah, I mean it's possible the Steelers can make some noise. It's not impossible. Time is kind of running out in the sense that what did we do with Jaylen Warren? What do we do with Najee Harris? George Pickens, is he the guy? What type of contract will he be getting? Pat Freiermuth, of course. And that defense, TJ Watt is not getting healthier, not getting younger. So what's going on with him? Minka, sure. I don't know.
Secondary
last time they paid him. So this team is going to be changing in a few. So you got to figure out who guys are now for sure.
Yeah, that secondary is going to be good though because you got Kool-Aid and Joey. That's no, not Kool-Aid. Who they drafted? Joey and
Joey Porter and who else did they get?
They got Peyton Wilson. That's who I really like. Who did they draft? I'm blanking out.
I forget the corner's name.
Well, but yeah, he's a really good corner though. But
my biggest thing is I don't want to talk too long. We can move on, but my biggest thing is that I believe that they have the foundation. They're just a quarterback away. And again, before I go get the Dak, I would try out Justin Fields. But speaking of defenses, I wanted to have a poll today and kind of go through the top 25 best defensive players going in 2024. Again, this is predicated off of projection mostly and what they lost, what they got, and what you expect. So not history. We know what guys have done in the past. We're talking about this year alone. What are we doing, or who we look at as the top guys going into 2024 defensively at every position? Starting off, Dab, you were here late. You can start off, man. Who's your player?
Number one, I'm gonna have to go with Myles Garrett. Probably the most dominant player in the game right now.
What's up, Riddell? You good?
Yeah, there's just a little fruit fly. pissing me off.
It's most dominant player in the game. I think he won defensive player of the year last year, right?
Miles
did
Garrett,
he?
yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay.
like what he does for that Browns defense has to be studied. Like that double teams he gets, and like he's still able to help elevate that team has to be studied. So Miles Garrett won.
Yeah, I gotta agree. He is the top guy, dude, I think. Like, hands down. I think Myles Garrett can go anywhere and dominate. And
Hall
if
of
he
Famer.
actually Myles Garrett on some other teams, there's a couple guys who are just a true pass rush away from being really nasty. So yeah, I think Myles Garrett is definitely a top player in this league. He gives me that not Bruce Irvin, but Bruce Smith, Reggie White type of vibe. Michael Strahan, like one of them type of guys.
Is this going to be in order? Does the order matter?
No. So we'll discuss the order after we do it, but let's run through them. Yeah, it don't matter. I guess go ahead. Who you got? You want to go Lonnie or you good?
Go ahead, Rodo.
I mean, I feel like it has to be TJ Watt number 2. At the end of the day, I know there's a looming narrative where we got people who are discrediting TJ Watt because of certain advanced statistics, and then some people crediting TJ Watt for certain advanced statistics. All we know is TJ Watt produces. He 100% produces based off the role he's given, and he dominates. He absolutely dominates. So TJ Watt for sure.
Like as somebody who, like, as much as we love Nick Bosa, and I'm a Max Crosby guy for sure, TJ Watt does everything. Like, we know how much of a wrecking ball that Myles Garrett is, but as a overall tool on defense, man, TJ Watt does so much. And for a guy who has to come off the shadow of JJ, man, if you look at his stats, he ain't disappointing. It's clearly running in the family, so I think TJ Watt is a really good choice. Lonnie?
Do I go Micah Parsons or do I go Max Crosby?
One's better than the other, you know it.
Damn, no Nick Bosa love.
One's a better pass rusher than the other.
Again, this is going into next year too. We got to understand this is going into next year. This is what they have around them to be more productive. This is not off history. This is off what we're looking at this next year going into.
I'm gonna go Max Crosby. Fuck it.
Very smart man. Very smart man.
I would have had put Max Crosby too by then because of TJ health, but I'm not mad at me at 2.
Okay.
It's closer than what Early likes, but I'll give the nod to Max.
Right.
Okay. At 4, I think this is a spot where I might have to go with all around talent, what they do. All around talent, what they do. I want to say I like TJ. I like Bosa. Everybody know I like Bosa. But I also
It's going into next year.
I know. You know what? At this spot, I'm going with Fred Warner.
Good pick. Something that Fred Warner too.
At 4.
At 4, I think Fred Warner, for what he does on the defensive end, I think he's easily the best linebacker in the game. And I think that he is one of the best parts of that. Like he does so much, not only in the run game, but even in the pass game for that 49. I would argue that Fred Warner was a more important piece than Nick Bosa.
I'm not.
You think Max Crosby is better than Fred Warner? Based on what they do for their teams.
Oh, you think Fred could be third?
I mean, if we're talking about everything into consideration,
If we're talking about everything, then like he's technically
that boy Fred is different.
He's the quarterback of that defense. He's the one calling the plays and stuff like that. And if that's the case, then linebackers would fill up this list a lot more than.
Well, for sure. I mean, all I know is Fred Warner can do it all. I mean, I feel like if you look at the 49ers, you go like, who's the best defensive player on this team? You'd say Fred Warner, not Nick Bosa too. And
Fred's a freak.
Yeah, he's an athlete. He can cover in space. He can cover, despite what Travis Kelce did to him, but we digress. Obviously, he helps in the run game too. So Fred Warner could do everything. I just put this out there. I don't really care either way, but Fred Warner could be number 3.
We'll
So
put
who turn
it
is it?
for now. Dev, who you got?
All right.
We don't have to go so deep, so fucking D-line crazy too, by the way.
This is kind of tough for me because I have 3 names in the contender right now. It's between Chandler, Micah, and Roquan.
Chandler, Micah,
And Roquan.
Chandler who?
Chandler Jones.
At 5th?
But I'm gonna go.
Next year?
Actually, I'm gonna go Micah. I'm gonna go Micah for right now.
You said Chandler Jones?
Yeah, what?
Not Jones. Wait, am I saying? Did I say the right one?
You mean Chris Jones?
Chris Jones.
I'm about to say, I'm not like Chandler.
Yeah,
I
my
believe
fault, yeah.
them there.
The one for
I was
the
like, you mean Mr. CTE Robin? Like, what do you
Yeah,
mean?
Chris Jones. The one for the Chiefs. My fault.
Okay, makes sense.
God damn, Kyrie, calm down.
Nah,
I knew he was gonna play good at
we
home.
in Dallas, Lottie. We in Dallas.
It's about time though. It's about time.
Okay, yeah,
You've been
yeah,
selling
keep
my
doing that.
parlays.
Keep doing that, Kyrie.
All right, what we think? Who? So you got Micah. So who you got? Riddell.
I'll go Chris Jones.
WW.
Yeah, I mean his
Tackle.
impact is undeniable. So yeah, he's that guy.
Best player on the top 5 defense.
Is it my turn?
He might be the second best player on the team if you think about it. You make an argument if he's the second best player.
Yeah.
on the team.
Hey, listen. Band for band.
Travis Kelce.
It might be. He might be. If Pat's the best on offense, he might easily be the best on defense and the most consistent. Like he's the foundation. A lot of guys have come and gone, but he remains the same.
Oh yeah, he is
And
the best player.
As
on
much
defense.
as we love Aaron Donald, Chris Jones not only puts up stats, but one thing his ass does too is Chris Jones continues to win championships. And
I
be
mean,
the reason why they
Aaron
win
Donald
championships.
is
But-
retired. Aaron Donald's
And,
retired.
and plus, to be
I know.
fair,
I'm just talking about in general, like how and when we
plus,
look
to be
back at this
fair,
era.
Oh, okay.
I mean, to be fair, if it's not to be nasty, like it looked like the difference of quarterbacks they kind of had too. That kind of helps out too.
For sure. All right, who got number 7?
It's me. Do I want to be nasty since we're projecting? I want to be nasty. I'm putting Kyle Hamilton at 7.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. You might be cooking because that go Kyle.
Yo, second year, you're all pro. And if you watch the games, a lot of people consider him arguably the top safety. You can say Antonio Winfield, but if they're in the same tier, but he's bigger, stronger, and faster, and 3 years younger, I'm gonna go with Kyle Hamilton because
I think he's only 22.
Your second year, you're already considered maybe the best of your position. Third year, watch out, especially with
I see him playing down here in Atlanta. I knew he was gonna be cold.
No, people knew he was going to be a monster as soon as he was in college. They're like, oh, he's going to be a top center. He's going to be a top safety in the league.
No, he was a steal. No, he was dead as steel. Like the fact he went to 14 to the Ravens is crazy.
Okay, all right. Number 8.
I think number 8. I'm gonna give my boy some credit. I don't think Cal's better than Antoine Winfield, but I'm gonna actually go with Sauce right here at number 8. I've said it before. I think his ability to lock up his guy is just really valuable.
Okay. Number 9, I probably would say. I think this is a good place to put respect on Nick Bosa's name. I mean, Nick Bosa is still one of the best pass rushers in football. He won Defensive Player of the Year literally 2 years ago, and this year he's gonna go crazy again. You know, there's a lot of good names, but I feel like Nick and Micah Parsons. I mean, I feel like you can go either way with those two, to be honest. So Nick Bosa right here. All right, who's number 10?
All right, I guess back on me. All right, Roquan.
Okay. Roquan Smith.
Yeah,
he was the anchor. He was the anchor of that defense. Also the quarterback. crazy pass
do we
rush.
think Roquan Smith is better than Antonio Winfield?
I do.
I think so.
You can go either way. I mean, Roquan Smith is the second best linebacker, and he carried that Ravens defense like Fred Warner carried the 49ers defense as linebackers.
Yeah,
So
I mean, he's a hell of a player. That's kind of high to me. Okay, Roquan. I mean, when I'm looking at defenses, Miami ain't got nobody. Cincinnati ain't got nobody.
Now, oh yeah, I forgot. Now Christian Wilkins is gone. We in the Raiders now.
But he ain't. I don't think he's over Raekwon. Well, do we think Raekwon Smith is better than Aiden Hutchinson?
yeah.
Yeah.
Do
But
we
you said
think,
Miami don't got nobody. They got Ramsey.
Yeah, you're right. You think he's better than Ramsey? Bad for
At
that?
this point,
At this point of their careers, I'd say yeah, but it's
Yeah,
Is he
but
better than
Ram-
Josh Allen?
yeah,
yeah. Josh Allen.
because I think Aiden's better than Josh Allen. But
I think
my question
Burns
is, do
better
you have
than Josh Allen.
Ramsey? Do we have Ramsey ahead of Aiden?
I think Dexter Lawrence and Brian
I
Burns
would.
are both better than those guys.
Yeah, I agree to that as well.
Projection, yes. I think Ramsey will have a hard time back there with no pass rush. So I don't think he'll be in the looks in the top 3. I don't think he'll be top 3 this year. I think with Christian Gonzalez coming back, you got I think Patrick Surtain still be good, and then of course my boy Sauce. So I don't think he'll be top. I think he'll be top. I think he won't be top 5 this year, honestly.
Jalen Johnson is really good for the Bears as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think the pass rush for the Miami Dolphins is that bad because I think Chop Robinson has a lot of upside. They just gotta stay healthy. That's the biggest thing. If the Miami pass rush can stay healthy, but
yeah, I mean, what are we doing for this spot, number 11?
I think it's on early.
No, I did Sauce.
Lonnie.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Because there's Ramsey, there's Antonio.
Who was your last pick?
Kyle.
That guy in New York. Well, if you don't put it, Rondo's gonna put that big guy in New York.
Oh, you think Dexter Lawrence is 11th?
That boy, Dexter Lawrence.
I wouldn't be mad at it. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at it.
He in the top 15. He's somewhere.
I think Aiden's gonna take another little step, so I think he would be.
Yeah,
I don't like Dexter.
Aiden's over Dexter Lawrence. I think Aiden's going to be the guy for his team. Like that's another thing too. Like
he already is the guy.
Are you the guy or are you the guy next to the guy? And I think Aiden is the guy.
Yeah, I think Aiden's the guy. But
I think
how old is Ramsey this year? Does anyone know?
30? I don't know.
30 sounds right, to be honest.
He's
Dexter Lawrence is gonna go absolutely crazy.
He's 29. Yeah, I'll put Ramsey there. I respect this shit.
Okay, I agree right now because y'all pass was gonna be insane with him, Thibodeau, and Brian Burns.
He turns 30. He turns 30 like right before Halloween. So yeah, I'll put Jalen. Yeah.
All right.
He's
early.
still fairly young, Yoki.
You got Jalen Ramsey.
And he's younger than Randall.
I think I want to go Aiden Hutchinson right here. I think Aiden Hutchinson. Wait a minute. Let me go look at my timeline. Let me go look at not my timeline, but my memory bank. I'm looking at defense. I'm looking at defenses, and you see how I got him. San Fran. Is he better than Warren? Better than them guys? Nope. I'll go Nick Bosa here. I'll still give Nick Bosa the respect, and I think going into this year, I think he'll still be a top 5 D lineman, but just not a top 10 player. So I'll go Nick Bosa right here.
Nick Bosa
not already on the list.
I got Nick Bosa. So then I'm going with
Hutchinson.
I might have to go with Hutchinson, man.
Or Antonio.
Antonio
Antoine Winfield.
This is yeah. I like Winfield. I like Winfield. I think Winfield's a top 10 player, honestly. So I'm gonna go with Winfield. I take Winfield over Jalen Ramsey just because of what he can do.
All right. My turn. I'm going Dexter Lawrence. I think Dexter Lawrence on the New York Giants is gonna have a Chris Jones.
Where did he come from?
Impact. What do you mean?
Did Dexter Lawrence play for the Giants last year?
Yeah, he's been on the Giants. Yeah,
his whole career.
Yeah.
You think he's better than Thibault? Is it Thibault?
You think he's
Yeah,
better
he's
than
the
Aiden?
best. He's the best. He's our best defensive player.
He the second best defensive
Um,
tackle in the league.
Yeah, so Dexter Lawrence is gonna go crazy now
the
that
single best
Brian
what?
Burns. He's the second
D
best
tackle.
defensive tackle.
Behind Chris Jones.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, we'll go with that.
Yeah, he's about to go crazy. Brian Burns.
think he's better than
Kayvon
Aiden?
would be a lot of pressure.
You think
yeah.
he's better than Aiden?
Uh-huh.
He was better this
Yeah.
year, yeah.
What about whoa? Let's come back for a second. Do we think Dexter Lawrence is better than DeForest Buckner?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah,
What?
No, he
Lawrence is
Dexter's
nice.
different. He's nice.
Will
He
he
is
be
our-
better than
He's our best
Will he
defensive
be
player.
better than Will Anderson this year?
Yes.
Yes, but I have Will Anderson very high.
Ooh, you don't sound too sure there. All right. If you like him, all right, you like him.
Especially this year. If we're projecting, like, he has a lot more
Was he
help
all
this
pro
year,
this
too.
year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was.
He was.
What about Brian Burns?
Yeah,
He's
he's
better than
he's
Brian
our
Burns.
best defensive player. Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say Dexter
So
Lawrence
y'all
was all
have him, Brian Burns, and fucking Thibault?
Yup,
Yeah.
it's about to get reckless
Shit,
out
that
there.
D-line
man.
is giving 2007 D-line for them.
Only if we had Eli Manning.
I mean,
Only
Daniel,
if we had-
Daniel Jones could. So
Yeah, he was second team all pro this year.
Yeah.
it's my turn. I'm gonna go PS2.
Ooh, at number 14? All right, come on.
I
now.
think-
at some point, Aiden got to get there at some point. You think PS2 more important than Steam to Aiden?
I mean, you can
Yeah.
argue that PS2 is
Cause
the
I-
best corner. Like you
Because
can
no,
make a
because like,
debate between him and Zog.
we're also projecting. I think PS2 is like gonna take another leap and like probably has the best year.
Yeah. I'm not as high on Aiden as you are, I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, I think I like mine. You know, I ain't the highest.
I'm
one. I like
just
him.
super high. I'm high on Patrick Surtain. That's me.
I
Is
mean,
Patrick Surtain toe to toe a better player or want to have a better season than Yair Alexander?
Yes.
no. This next
That's
year,
our.
A better
it-
season?
I'm high.
That's what I'm saying. We talking about
better.
better less players. Who's the better player? Who had a better impact?
Jair will be
Jair-
the better corner next year.
I think depending on Jair's health, because I think Patrick Surtain take a jump. I think Jair is Alexander's top 2 corner in the league, but
Mika Fitzpatrick.
Minka's
Because again, we got to also look at this, guys. This is what I want to say too. When you say this, also look at their ability to like what they do on their defense. Again, I believe that Sauce. Why I give Sauce such a high regard because I believe he cuts off. 1 second. I'm sorry.
I need to learn how to turn on Discord
You can
notifications.
say about Sauce that you can't say about PS2.
I think Sauce does a better job of cutting off that half of the field. I think Sauce is the best corner in the game.
I want to put this out there for you, Lonnie, and to the discourse in general.
'Cause
And
I
I'm
think
not saying
Sauce-
this will happen, but do we think that he will continue to regress after Vic Fangio is no longer on the team?
You talking about
Who?
PS2?
For PS, yes. I'm not saying he's
no.
going to be bad, but in terms of he won't be the consensus top corner. Like, he'll be like,
I
can
mean,
make
there's
a
a lot of
case
good
for that.
corners.
I think like last year, their whole defense and part of their offense, because we saw how bad they were as a whole for a while until they got it together that second half of the season. They were in discourse. So like because of how bad they were, I think people were harping on PS2, and I think he wasn't like injured, but like he was a little haggled. And so I think he had like a little bit of a down year, but even as a down year, he was still a top 3-4 corner as a down year. So
And
was he that year? I would say Sauce, Trent McDuffie,
okay,
Jair Alexander, Jalen Johnson.
I want to put Jalen Johnson above him.
Jalen Johnson.
I think it's an argue. I think you can argue. I think it's
Yeah, I was
argue.
gonna say, I'm not just gonna put Jalen Johnson above him. Like, not that Jalen Johnson's not nice.
Well, I'm
I
just
will
saying
say
who-
this.
who played better. That's all I was saying.
I would say this, like, if you want to say in the future, because next year corner class is gonna be all time. Like
Can we name anyone else on that Broncos defense last year?
Justin Simmons.
Justin Simmons.
Now there's
Riley
more
Sill's down there.
obscure names that don't really matter. So Justin Simmons
Because I don't think they really had a pass rush.
PS2.
I don't think they really had a pass rush. I can't remember a linebacker to save my life right now on their team. So like it was just him and another guy. So yeah, like I feel like Jair, they have a good pass rush. Sauce, they have a great pass rush and a great defense and a good linebacker core. PS2, it's him and a safety and a bunch of Joes. So I feel like,
and only that, Jair also has a pretty good safety back there too. Back that with him last year, and Darnell Savage, he was decent with them.
yeah, I was about to say Savage was solid. So it's like, I feel like all the other corners that you name, they have way more help on defense. They have way more things to keep the defense together. It's PS2 and a prayer on the Broncos. So,
I mean, at the same time, I can't really give you the benefit of the doubt if you are part of that defense and you're not performing, because
I don't think he
PS2
performing. Like it was because he was still.
Well, he definitely wasn't performing in that blowout loss to the Dolphins.
You can't put 80 points on one.
I'm not. I'm saying he's part of the reason because
I like to see how many points were
getting
scored on him.
cooked. Tyreek Hill was cooking PS2 that game. Like it was.
To be fair, Tyreek Hill was cooking everybody except
What?
Trevor Duffy.
What?
Except Trevor
and
Duffy.
L'Jarius Sneed.
And
What? Because he didn't cook sauce like that. So let's relax. And they played him twice a year.
Yeah, man. Hey,
I don't think Patrick Surtain. I think toe for toe going into next year, Christian Gonzalez is not only a better player, but he's a better corner than Patrick Surtain. Period. I think Christian Gonzalez is the best player.
And as a Patriots fan, I hope that you're right. I hope that you're right.
Also, Lonnie, to your point, their defense hasn't really changed since last year to this year. So you think if it hasn't changed, then should PS2 be this high, knowing that he's probably going to perform relatively similar? I don't think he will, but the talent is arguably worse because Justin Simmons is no longer on the team.
Do I think he's still gonna be a top 5 corner? Probably. And what do we have him right now at? We have him at 3. So I'm not mad at it. I don't think I'm even the one that picked PS2. Who picked PS2? Was that Dev?
Oh, true. Dev.
Yeah.
Yeah, so blame Dev. Lonnie, it is your turn.
I'll put Aiden Hutchinson in there.
Man, I would put Will Anderson above Aiden Hutchinson.
True. Wait.
I'm not gonna lie.
Because I was pushing the Will Anderson agenda. I was pushing that agenda, and then JJ Watt said that he'd help him, and they just got Daniel Hunter. And I did call him all last year a future DPOY. And I think he'll definitely get one before Hutchinson. Not the Hutchinson.
He also said he's gonna have a nasty year this year. That's what he.
No, I'm gonna stick to what I would say and put Will Anderson on there.
W. I think Will Anderson's gonna be disgusting next year. All right, early 16.
I'm going with Aiden Hutchinson. I think it's about that time to put him here. I think that what he does. I could go Mika.
I was gonna put Minka.
Do we think? Do we feel high about Jeffrey Simmons?
No, not
that's a good one.
Darwin really. James fell off. Who else I like?
There's Minka. Then after that, there's like Witherspoon and
Jair hasn't been picked. Xavier.
Jair, I'll go. I don't think Patrick. I think Patrick Surtain. I think he's a name right now. I think Patrick Surtain is a name.
I'm just worried about the fact that Trent McDuffie's not gonna have to play.
Yeah, he's too little to play number 1 all the time, guys. I need y'all to understand that. If you notice, they always put him on the more shiftier guy as far as like size wise, but I don't like Duffy checking the best of the best. I don't like him versus. I don't even his own division. I don't like him twice a year.
Whoa! He can lock up
Adams. I don't like him twice a year versus fucking what's my boy name for the that was getting off last year for the Broncos? Tall Sutton. I don't like him twice a year versus Sutton. Who else is over there? Chargers too.
Bro,
Chargers over there.
okay. There's some receivers that are really tall that he'll struggle with, but Trent McDuffie locking up everybody, bro. I ain't holding you, man. They ain't running away from Trent.
Trent McDuffie locking up Devontae Adams twice a season.
Man, Devontae didn't do anything to the Chiefs last year. I'm just saying, man.
Why didn't he do anything to the Chiefs last year? Because he was the more physical. All right, well, all right. I don't think Trent McDuffie is a top 7 corner. I think once you become the guy, it's gonna get different. I don't think he has that in him. I think the last short corner who I thought was really, really talented and could do everything was probably Chris Harris Jr. at 5'10".
I mean, he was locking down slots, was the hardest place to guard.
Oh, there y'all go with that slot shit. At the end of the day, on that island by yourself, will you get it done? At the end of the day, even with slot, which I need to understand is linebackers are in the zone in the middle of the field, and on the outside, there's always corners and safeties on the outside. But when you on the island and it's a quick blitz, and you got to keep your man, I got the inside on your ass, the inside leverage on your ass, something different, and I'm a more physical guy because I'm the number one of the ones. Or just when you have to cover that number one all goddamn game. We'll see.
We shall. So you picking Aiden?
Aiden's already there. I'm taking. Oh yeah, just 17 now.
No, so yeah, okay, my turn then.
All right. Aqib Talib is one of the most underrated corner duos of all time.
Chris Harris and him was discussing together. Oh my god. Hey, look, Marcus Peters and him were discussing together.
Where do I want to go here?
Chris McAllister and Samari Rowe, the most underrated corner duo of all time.
I'll put Jair Alexander. All right, Dev, on you.
Oh, real quick before Dev goes, so was Jair earlier this offseason just crashing out when he did that whole goodbye post?
I have no idea. What he's doing.
Nah, but remember they said because this is last year. So
you don't think he's gonna resign?
The Packers have not agreed. They was talking about he's gonna be gone this year. I think that's why he's doing that.
I don't know what's going on.
He might. Has he showed up to mini camps?
I haven't heard a report that he hasn't, but I just remember the end of last year how he got in trouble because he pretended to be a captain and all that other stuff. Then there was locker room behavior issues and stuff like that.
To my knowledge,
they might have got it rectified.
Yeah, to my knowledge, he's still on the team. Packers. I be following Packers page. They haven't. There's nothing bad. He's been with the team, so nothing negative so far. Dang, I want to put my boy AJ Terrell going to be on this list somehow, but not yet. Is there anybody coming into the draft that can have a top 25 impact? Into this draft, I'm trying to think who got drafted.
Maybe Latu, because the Colts are a top pass rush team, so you can just eat. But I don't know.
At the same time, he's gonna have limited reps because they're such a good pass rush team. I don't think he's gonna get the reps to have those numbers.
The only one that has the best chance is him.
That's why I said maybe for him.
Him and Dallas Turner has the best chance. I think this draft has a lot of potential. I think Peyton Wilson gonna be really, really good. But I don't think I'm not gonna put no one in the draft class yet.
I mean, you could argue Kenyon Mitchell because he's gonna be the number one corner on the Eagles. Vic Fangio is a secondary defensive guru.
Oh yeah, Cooper DeJean. He's gonna be
Kenyon Mitchell is Kenyon Mitchell or Cooper DeJean is a good one.
Arnold.
Do we think y'all got y'all was hyping up all last year? We think y'all got Jalen Carter takes the next step this year, becomes a top.
I forgot about Jalen Carter.
Oh yeah, Jalen Carter.
Yeah, put him on the list. Put him on the list. I forgot about Jalen Carter.
Much y'all talked about last year. I ain't giving the same love.
He needs to be higher. I ain't gonna lie. You might.
He's losing Reddit, so that's gonna have to. We're gonna be able to see what you got.
They got Bryce Huff, so.
Prodigy did make a good point. Is Reddick gonna end up being on this top 25? Hassan Reddick?
Nah.
Hell no.
Nah.
Yeah, because I don't know if he is. Because I'm not gonna put him over like Josh Allen. Who's the 49ers safety? I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
As a pass rusher,
Ufunga. Jesse Bates needs to be on this list.
Jesse Bates.
As a pass rusher, I don't
Fitzpatrick,
trust
we
Hassan
still
Reddick.
haven't named.
I think Hassan
Oh
Reddick
yeah,
is
Jesse.
a cover guy.
I
cover
gotta
guy.
put Jesse Bates. I'm like either Jesse Bates or AJ because Jesse Bates had a hell of a year last year.
No, but I would put Fitzpatrick over either of them.
What Rodgers
Hey,
you
man,
talking about? What is probably talking about Rodgers? Who's Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers.
No, he's talking about Rodgers. He's talking about Rodgers.
He's talking about
Defensively.
Smith?
Yeah, I don't know.
No,
what he's talking
Prodigy is talking about Aaron Rodgers.
about. But no, Fitzpatrick should technically be on this list. He probably should be higher.
Yeah, you can put Minka. Even though I think Jesse was better. Even though Minka was hurt, Jesse was better than him last year, and that's not my Falcons bias coming out. Then Jesse, I think Jesse's still a top 5 safety. He's gonna have like a lot more impact on his team because we have a more defensive head coach now. So,
All right,
Yeah.
number
I
20.
can argue that
he did
Joey
that
Porter
without a
Jr.
pass rush.
I can argue Joey Porter Jr. is a better corner than Patrick Surtain too.
What?
Yep.
That's pretty nasty, I'll be honest.
Not yet.
What?
Because PS2 still does.
PS2 is young though, too. Also,
So
like,
he's
only
also
like
good, but
23.
also, what do you think that he does better than? What do you think Joey Porter Jr. does better than PS2?
I think press, tackle.
Press? Ooh,
Press.
Yeah.
that's PS2 thing, I think.
Joey Porter's thing is physicality. I think press and cut. I think press, tackle, and I think Joey Porter's ability to get his hands on a receiver immediately at the contact with the ball to be able to get out of his hands. I think that's pretty high too. But PS2 still probably over him.
all right, who's number
We
20?
need to watch some PS2 tape. Like what?
We
What?
need to do that. We need to get
I love Joey Porter. I love Joey
Okay.
Porter. But what?
a playback stream if we could one day.
I'm about to hit up Trent.
Maybe. Number 20. What about Jesse Bates?
I'm cool with that.
I like
That man had a great year without he did that without a pass rush.
After this, did we say Josh Allen?
He got to be here somewhere.
I would say Brian. I'm not lying. I got Brian Burns over Josh Allen. That's me.
Brian Burns.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
Very underrated.
I think we go with here's my biggest thing.
Mhm.
Dev. I think we go with the best guys on their team because if you are the best guy on your team, 9 out of 10, your ability to be
That's
the
fair.
most productive.
Yo, we fumbled.
Who we missing?
Because low key, he can make a case for top 10. Quinnen Williams on the Jets, bro.
Oh,
I said Quinn Williams earlier, though.
Lord.
You guys didn't really.
I ain't hear
do
it. Nah,
that.
I ain't
I
lying.
didn't hear you say it because I'm putting him above Dexter Lawrence. I'm putting him above
How about
Ramsey.
this?
I'm not
I'm
putting him
putting him
above
above
Dexter
Roquan.
Lawrence. I'm not putting him above
Honestly, you
Dexter.
could put him at.
I'll put him below Will
Quinn Williams
Anderson.
at least top 13.
No,
Yeah.
no, he's not. He's not above Dexter
Quinnen
Lawrence.
Williams is like,
Quinn Williams is a better.
He's
you
top
think he better
3.
than Dexter Lawrence?
Yeah, no, he's not better
He
than
is.
Dexter.
I think Dexter
No, he's
Lawrence.
not.
I think Dexter Lawrence better, but Quinn is like
better
right
than
behind him.
Dexter Lawrence.
Dexter Lawrence is not. Quinnen Williams is not better than Dexter Lawrence. I'm telling you.
Hey,
already.
no
Wasn't
cap.
Quinnen Williams
Hey.
first team All Pro this year?
Dexter
Hey,
Lawrence
let's-
was All Pro. Quinnen Williams
Hey,
wasn't All
Dexter
Pro.
Lawrence was second team All Pro. Wasn't Quinnen Williams first team All Pro?
I thought it was
You
Chris Jones.
mean- Chris Jones.
Quinn
Oh.
Williams is a D lineman, fellas. He's not a fucking D tackle.
Hey, no cap. You know what we gotta do? Hey, we gotta put on a film session. Dexter Lawrence versus Cornell Mitchell. And we gotta watch PS2 versus Jalen Johnson.
Nah, I think
Hey.
I get Dexter.
Could have been
Lawrence a
Aaron
lot.
Donald too. I don't
I
actually.
think
I have
Dexter
no idea
Lawrence
who's
is better.
first team.
I think Quinn Williams is better than.
He's
I
really
put
good.
I put Quinnen Williams right below Will Anderson. That's what I would do.
I'll take that at 16, and just knock them all the rest of them down.
He was All Pro the year before. I'm trying to see if he was All Pro this year.
He went all pro this year. I don't think.
I know Quincy Williams was. If that's what
Yeah,
you're talking.
How?
Yeah.
Hey, Early. How? You still think Star's the best player on the defense, right? Even between him and Quinnen.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he didn't make it this year. But still, to me, he's like one of the most dominant linemen in the league. But that's fine.
All right, number 23.
Do we put Witherspoon in here? Do we put?
I'm about to say that's where I'm going with it. I'm going with Spoon.
Devin
Do
Witherspoon.
we think, but we're
I
also
think he is the
projecting.
best player.
Do we think Gonzalez might have
I
might be
think-
better?
I think we see more for Devin because Gonzalez has been hurt. I think Gonzalez.
Well, I'm saying that's the thing. It's not about.
No, I think
We're not
while we
about
go
talk
with
about
I
passion.
think
It's about-
I think coming off an injury, we got to be careful going with projections. I think Devin Witherspoon could be man. I think he could be like an Ed Reed. I ain't gonna lie.
But then again,
what he does. Like I watched a lot of Devin
he does a lot.
Witherspoon.
He's very
I had the
versatile.
ability to watch a lot of Devin Witherspoon tape because I would just all watch Seattle games to watch DK, of course. And dog, he jumps off my screen, dog. Like he is everywhere. He gonna tackle. He gonna cover. He'll get a pick. Like he does everything, guys. He does.
He's also going to be coached by Mike McDonald, who was the defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens, who obviously coached Marlon Humphrey and Kyle Hamilton.
And he helped Geno Stone have a great.
How do we
too.
feel about Daniel Hunter? Daniel Hunter.
No,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. To be fair, the thing with Christian Gonzalez, his first 6 games was elite, and I think if all you gotta do is just stay healthy. I think
Chris Godwin was
will
gonna be an All Pro. He was gonna be an All Pro if he would have kept
Just
that pace.
stay healthy, put on some more weight, and he's good.
Gonzalez is tough. Like I was high.
But Gonzalez don't need weight at corner. He got the physicality, he got the length, and he got the speed. He don't need
how
weight.
wiry he is. He needed a little bit more weight.
How
He
much
ain't
is
a
he? Like
safety,
220,
though.
210?
I think.
All right, I would put Trent McDuffie now.
I forgot about McDuffie. I ain't lying.
I'm fine with McDuffie being.
Do we like Jalen Phillips for Detroit? I mean for Miami.
No.
Do we like Michael Judon?
I like him more than Phillips.
DJ Reader.
Nah.
Jeffrey Simmons?
Fake Troy Polamalu that played for the 49ers. Talafuga.
No.
I mean, it just tear its ACL.
Do
Though.
we take Trent McDuffie over LeJerry Sneed?
Yes.
Yes. Well,
As far as productivity and everything, who does Trent Duffy play for? Oh no, you're right. Because Sneed went to Sneed left.
The Titans.
Trent still stayed.
You went to the Titans, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I think
Jeffrey Simmons probably over Sneed. If I had to choose one.
I would disagree.
I'm trying to think any linebackers, no more linebackers.
What about projection wise, Matt Milano?
He is an interesting case. Teron Johnson,
that's really good.
Also has an interesting case. Yeah, I mean Matt Milano, but he was injured most of last year. So
we talk about projection. With a healthy year, he could be the key to that defense next year. The best player on defense.
He is the best player on defense, in my opinion.
What team is he on?
The Bills.
The Bills.
I mean, it's a by committee type of defense because Teron Johnson was an All-Pro last year. So,
and Trey White, when healthy, is really good too. Really elite.
Who Teron Johnson play for?
Trey White's not on the Bills. He's on the Rams.
Teron Johnson play for?
No, I said when he was on the Bills.
Teron Johnson is the slot corner.
Did we ever say Jalen Johnson?
Jalen Johnson should be on this list.
Yeah, you can put Jalen Johnson next. I'm cool with Jalen Johnson.
Wait. I gotta be honest. We doing top 25. I'm putting the trust in Christian Gonzalez. I'm sorry. He get that 25 spot for me.
Jalen was all pro first team last year.
That's cool. But I'm telling you that Christian Gonzalez would have gotten all pro first team with better going against better talent next year.
I usually don't activate my bias, but I'm with early on this.
I think
a guy coming off an injury without no Bill Belichick is about to do better than Jalen Johnson.
I mean,
you got OJ, man.
This is what I think. I think he will be healthy for one, and I think that he will be the, when I say the absolute key, like his ability to cover. I think he has the Darrelle Revis year, where literally week after week we put on a tape of how he locked somebody down on the island over there.
We got to remember, one, he's coming off an injury. Two, it will still be technically his rookie year. Three, he'll be without Bill Belichick, the greatest defensive mind of all time. Like, this is not
no love.
This is a lot that he has to deal with.
No love for Mayo.
Nah, Mayo. Who's Mayo?
Ain't that who did Mayo?
Patriots coach.
Oh no, he's not. He's not Bill Belichick.
Yeah, he was just the greatest linebacker to ever wear a Patriots jersey. But
cool. You still not Bill Belichick. I gotta see it to believe it when it comes to the Patriots defense.
I hate to be this guy, but Teddy Bruschi is the greatest Steelers linebacker ever.
I don't give a damn.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That bullshit. Teddy,
Give a damn. And I got
Teddy is
I got
nasty.
Brewski's jersey at my mom's crib. I don't give a damn.
So last spot, is it Jalen? What we saying? What's the word?
Take it to a vote. Who do you got, Dev? This nigga's gone.
Dev, you going? I'm gonna go with. I'll give Jalen Johnson the benefit of the doubt. Who you got, Devin? Jalen Johnson.
I said Jalen. I said Jalen. I don't know why my mic just cut out.
We can give him the benefit of the doubt, but
He's about to cook this year. Trust. All right. Well, here's the top 25.
we got Myles Garrett at 1, TJ Watt at 2, Max Crosby, Fred Warner, Micah Parsons, Chris Jones, Kyle Hamilton, Sauce Gardner, Nick Bosa, Roquan, Ramsey, Winfield, Dexter Lawrence, PS2, Will Anderson Jr., Quinnen Williams, Aiden Hutchinson, Jair, Jalen Carter, Fitzpatrick, Jesse Bates, Josh Allen, the black one, Devon Witherspoon, Trent McDuffie, and Jalen Johnson.
W.
Oh, true. No Denzel Ward.
Nah. I mean, I don't think that's that crazy. I'm gonna be honest with you.
No, I got Denzel Ward. I think Denzel Ward's better than Jalen Johnson, but that's just.
Nah,
I think
bro,
there's
Jalen Johnson is the truth.
I think Tre'Davious Ward is pretty high.
Hey, if you behind the Bears on it, you gotta be behind Jalen Johnson too.
I think Tre'Davious Ward is pretty
I
high.
like Jalen Johnson, but I think Denzel Ward is really, really nice. But that's just me.
Because I think I don't know.
Who does Denzel play for?
I guess I like
Browns.
Jalen's game more.
Yeah, I'm going with Jalen Johnson.
All right.
I gotta
Let's
go,
to the
guys.
docket. All right. See you, Dev.
Gotta help my grandma out. Appreciate Rodell, early, Lonnie, anytime.
No problem at all.
And y'all
Love
be
you,
sure to
grandson,
tune in.
man.
Y'all be sure to tune in next episode, and I hope you and Lonnie don't fight too much over this finals.
Oh nah, man. I'm I like who I like. I'm with Lonnie in this finals.
You trying to win your money back. I know you trying to do.
Nah, I won my money with the what's name. I didn't lose too much last jump. I just really want to I just don't want to see Luka win the championship. All right,
I got you. Okay, Lucas. I mean, not Luka. Kyrie, stop selling my parlays. I'll catch y'all tomorrow.
W Luka hate. We move.
Talk about that mini camp.
Were there any?
All right. So this is our top 25. Let's clip it, get a good picture of it, and we'll be able to, that's who we're going with. Next topic I want to talk about. I want to push over to two topics in particular. One is what am I looking at here?
Can I do the next topic?
Go ahead.
So Hassan Reddick has still not been involved or contacted the Jets, because for mandatory minicamp, OTAs, none of that. And now Aaron Rodgers has been missing mandatory minicamp as well without telling the team because he went on another retreat or whatever after saying that how the team needs to be locked in and focused, ready for the season. So you have issues at the top with your offense, with your quarterback going away on another darkness retreat or whatever he's doing. And then your biggest acquisition this offseason on defense, arguably a top 10, 12 pass rusher, is literally MIA after you just traded for him. So what do we think about the Jets situation right now going into the season?
I think with Aaron Rodgers, he'll be fine. Just let him, as long as he play quarterback, he'll be fine. I've seen this before. Well, Hassan Reddick, man, I think this is a guy who was too what's the word I'm looking for? I think that sack season got to his head, and he didn't realize that most of the reason why you was getting them sacks because you was getting single coverage, if not no coverage. It's not single coverage, but single blocking, and not let alone no blocking. If you go back and run that tape on that whole season, there's a lot of time when he came scot-free. Is that because of his ability or just because his D-line is stacked? Could be a bit of both. When you have a Brandon Graham, when you have a Jalen Carter, like we all believe that when they got Jalen Carter, it was like, how the fuck did the NFL let the Eagles get Jalen Carter what they already had? I don't think Hassan Reddick is a guy who can do it by himself. I've seen these guys before. I've seen these guys who had a good D-line go to a place where they got to be the main guy and look pitiful. I am not a Hassan Reddick fan. I think he's too weak. I think he's not good in the run game. I think he is a poor man's version of Michael Parsons with a less motor. So he's a guy that's going to be a problem in this future. Mostly because I think that Jets team has a lot of strong personalities. The Quentin Williams, the Sauces, the what's that linebacker name? The Mosleys. Like that is not a place where you want to go defensively. That offensive room is different. But if you have played football, you know the defensive room and the offensive room are two different places. With Hassan Reddick's attitude so far, I believe that he will be a problem with this upcoming season. But if he does what he's supposed to do, he'll have a great year. I don't understand what his problem is. Does anybody know what his problem is?
Yeah, it's over a contract dispute. The crazy thing is that the Jets was hoping that they brought in Hassan Reddick.
Did they trade for him?
Yeah, they traded like a second-round pick.
Oh, maybe. Actually, yeah, they did.
The
thing is, the reason why they got rid of Bryce Huff, which was their edge rusher, the Jets, was because they didn't want to pay him. Now they have Hassan Reddick to replace him, and now they're in the similar situation.
Who they get rid of? Riddell? Who they get rid of?
They got rid of Bryce Huff. He was their edge rusher last year.
And Bryce Huff went to
the Eagles. Yeah, the Eagles signed him. So
they switched spots.
Yeah. And Hassan Reddick, if they didn't want to pay Bryce Huff, Hassan Reddick is going to ask for more money than Bryce Huff. So now they're in a situation where if this guy doesn't buy in, then it's just not going to work out. So, yeah.
And because you already got rid of Bryce Huff, Hassan Reddick has to replace his production or it's going to be a worse defense.
I mean, unless you believe in their draft picks from last year that were passed. What was the pass rusher from, I believe, Florida State?
I don't remember his name, but he didn't do anything last year.
I'm just saying, like, if you believe that, like, your pass rushers that you drafted the last few years can take a step up, then maybe it won't be a big drop-off, but, like, still, I'd rather have Hassan Reddick than have to rely on pretty young talent. So that's just me.
Yeah, I agree. And Aaron Rodgers is being Aaron Rodgers.
In history, has there ever been just a player that got traded and then just never showed up in the NFL?
Who are we talking about?
Hassan Reddick. Has there ever been like another player that got traded and then just like never showed up, never said anything, never responded?
I remember Joey Bosa got drafted and was a dick. Like I remember that. He wouldn't even touch the football field as a rookie before he got his money, man. That was a nasty situation.
Yeah, he wanted like a fully almost a fully guaranteed contract and stuff like that.
To be so mid for his career so far. That was a bad look now when you look back on it.
Yeah, no, I agree with I agree with that, but that's like getting drafted. I'm saying like you get traded somewhere and you just don't show up.
I have a feeling a lot of the guys, and this is just my theory, I think a lot of those guys who argue about the money early is because they know that they don't really love the game and they're afraid of not getting that second good check. So they're trying to get this first good check as soon as possible. Like, I need that. I need to bank on that because I probably won't have another one of these. And I think Hassan Reddick is one of them guys. I think he's a guy. If he goes somewhere, it has to be the main guy. Like, if Hassan Reddick goes to, like, the Panthers, it has to be like, hey, look, we're depending on you to be a 12 to 16 sack guy. I think he doesn't do well. I don't like him. If you watch his technique, if you watch him versus, he is literally just speed, bro. He's literally speed. Like, I don't like his hand placement. I don't like his movement. I don't like his lateral movement. Like, he is literally speed. I don't think he's quirky. Like a lot of guys are bendy, like a Elvis Dumervil or like a Robert Quinn was. So I think he's just a guy that's like, he's a tweener linebacker, D lineman, and he just has that quick rush off the ball. But I do believe that once he gets put in contact, unlike Michael Parsons, who can have a couple moves, bull rush, swim, spin. Once he actually touches that first bit of contact, I don't know, man. I don't like Haason Reddick. Not a fan of him. I don't like what he's going through. I don't like what he's doing right now, and I do believe he won't get his paycheck, and I do believe that the Jets won't pay him his paycheck, and he'll be forced to come into minicamp because his money will dwindle as they find him. And I think the next team he goes to, hopefully, is smart enough to pay him back. Honestly.
Yeah, we'll see for sure.
Speaking of mini camps, y'all see Amari Cooper's also not signing up for mini camp. Do we believe that Cooper? Now I have heard some sources where the Cowboys could probably get him back. They should get him back, and also Oakland should get him back. I think Oakland has enough over there. Would you take him over Jacoby Meyer right now?
Yeah, I mean he's better than Jacoby Myers.
He's better, but like, how old is he now? Because I feel like he's getting
29. I was crazy about Cooper. People were like, Cooper was young. He just came out of Alabama a couple years ago.
Yeah, I mean,
it feels a lot. It feels like a lot.
The Browns.
I think when you tend to go to different teams like that, you remember think about it. He's been on 3 different teams. Like even Odell's only like 30.
Yeah. The Browns should just re-sign him. He's the best receiver they've had since freaking Josh Gordon, more than likely. So 100%, they need to re-sign. Odell Beckham. So they need to resign.
Odell and Jarvis Landry.
I forgot that that period where it just went to hell. It's just not great.
Yeah, I blame Jarvis Landry. He fucking convinced him to come over there.
Yeah, he should have stayed on the Giants, man.
We want to be back like LSU. Shut up. I do believe Amari Cooper could go somewhere. I think he's a guy that if I was Amari, I'm trying to stay in that division, and if they don't sign me and he forces a trade, I go play with Lamar. Lamar could use a route running guy like Amari. Lamar has never had an Amari Cooper on his team.
He has his Zay Flowers.
That route running receiver that can get open in a phone booth, so it's easier for you to get it to him.
No, I'm hearing you, man. The NFL is definitely in a low period. Honestly, it's in this low period. We're in the just waiting, buying our time for the season to start up yet again. The NBA Finals going on. Mavs in 6, of course. We stand on business. That's not changing. But yeah, I just can't wait for the NFL to show up at this point. We just need football back. It's time. We got to answer some questions. We got to see what's up. All this mini camp and stuff, most of them are going to show up. It's end up going to be a big deal.
Before we go, one more topic I want to talk about before we go. How do we feel about Zach Wilson being looked at as the number 1 quarterback for the Broncos? And if Sean Payton can turn him into a MVP candidate type guy, we're talking Brock Purdy type year, 32 TDs, 8 to 11 picks, 4,000 to 4,500 yards. What do we say about Sean Payton, and his quarterback whispering?
Go ahead, Riddell.
I mean, I've said this before. Sean Payton has been a good coach. He helped Drew Brees become the pinnacle of who Drew Brees became. He made people think that Taysom Hill is a quarterback. He revived Jameis Winston's career for a brief time to the point where he's not a interception machine that he was in Tampa Bay. And then he made the Russell Wilson, who was absolutely disgustingly terrible the year before, look like a serviceable quarterback that someone was willing to bring to the sign in the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like, he has done time after time and time after time, made quarterbacks look better than what they are. And I mean,
would Zach Wilson be his ultimate? Would that be his Mona Lisa? Would that be the one he could say, "I did that"?
Oh, for sure. At least people still thought Drew Brees was a good quarterback. Zach Wilson, people think, is the worst quarterback in the NFL and shouldn't even be in the NFL.
I think Zach Wilson has all the tools. Zach Wilson is a car that's just. He got everything. He got the interior's nice, the exterior's nice. It's fast. The rims are nice. But that engine, boy, that engine. And when I say engine, I mean that mentality, that mind. If you can find a way to revamp that goddamn engine, that car is one of the best cars on the showroom floor. Because he has everything. And people forget that they compare, although we get to Caleb Williams, Pat Mahomes, they compare Zach Wilson to Pat Mahomes because he could do everything from a throwing standpoint. I think if you get his mind right, and with guys like him, you get them to believe in themselves, I like Jared Goff, and think that I'm the guy and you're my guy. I think you can do something with him. I've always liked Zach Wilson, man. I just like him, man. I like Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson just seems like that fun little young quarterback, man. But I'm rooting. I ain't gonna lie. I'm rooting for Zach Wilson. I hope he plays great so I can come and say, God damn it, look at my boy Zach. But if he doesn't, it'll just be, well, that's you all who we thought you were.
So Zach Wilson, like the reason why he was drafted is because they thought that he had all the tools, which he don't like. He has like the arm, the mobility, and stuff like that. But the problem is like, who was he playing against in college, and what kind of offense that they ran? It wasn't a pro-ready offense, and I felt like he was a quarterback that, like Justin Fields, they had all the tools, but they needed time to sit. And what happened? You threw him to the Wolves
with a bad O-line.
With no O-line, he got whooped, and that destroyed his confidence. And we see that more quarterbacks in this league, they get destroyed more than they get developed. That's what happened. And if he had already like a not super strong mentality, it's gonna take a while for him to come back. But Sean Payton is one of those quarterback whisperers that could possibly bring him back. Now,
and I think because the NFL at quarterback, the quarterback position is such a show me what you got right now type of position that if you're the starter for that position, you ain't got 3 years.
Yeah, you don't. Not anymore.
You legitimately do not have 3 years to show people.
But I would say, in a way, it's still bad for the Broncos because you just drafted Bo Nix with the first.
Who's an old guy? But I think my biggest factor for Zach Wilson is, again, I think if Sean Payton can that's it's prime month, so I'm not saying pause anything. If Sean Payton can just rub his shoulders, let him know he believes in him. You're my guy, man. You're my guy. Give him a couple hugs, man. You're my guy.
But like I said about Drew Brees, how Drew Brees is the most unlucky quarterback in NFL history. The same can be said with Sean Payton because he was on all those teams.
But Drew Brees waited, and we all know Drew Brees went to New Orleans at that time to die. He did.
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying, like, the way that we view Sean Payton isn't how we should actually view Sean Payton. Because think about the losses that I connected with Drew Brees. How the Vikings got that miracle pass to Stephon Diggs to beat them. The most obvious pass interference call of all time. Yeah. And then there was another one in between those two, right? Where like they lost crazy somehow. Like they were up by like 30 or 20 something, and then they came back and lost. So honestly, like Sean Payton could have been in like 2 to 3 more Super Bowls, and then who knows what happens if Sean Payton has 2-3 more rings.
And he has a quarterback that, I swear to God, if Drew Brees played in any other era, dog, I'm talking about 50s to 60s, 60s to 70s, 70s to 80s, 80s to 90s.
He's considered
90s to 2000. If he didn't have to play in that 2010, 2020 play range, dog, I can promise you he is a fucking 3-time MVP type guy. Like, think about the numbers that Drew Brees was putting up that didn't win MVP. Jesus Christ. And these numbers are put up. Dog, I watched Brett Favre get 3 MVPs, and if you go look at stat for stat, even wins for wins, because it ain't like Drew Brees was on teams that was going 5 and 11. He was not only putting up numbers, he was first round seed, he was first, second seed. So like in any other era, dog, Drew Brees is a 3-time MVP at least, dog.
He never had a major dip no matter what talent was around him. Because at first it was Marquise Colston, he was eating with him. Then it was Jimmy Graham, he was eating with them. Then it was like Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas for a little bit. He was eating with them.
Niggas forget he was eating with my boy Lance Moore. Remember on Lance 1-6? Mm-hmm. Like, he made Willie Snead look okay. Like, dog, he's never, other than Michael Thomas, who was a top guy, Marcus Colston was a 1,000-yard receiver, but we looked at Marcus Colston like a poor version of Mike Evans. He was never a guy that
never considered like a top 10 receiver. He was always just
he never had
number one, but he was like a lower man. He was like a Pittman Jr. Like he was like that's where I would rank him. Like he was like
he never had an Antonio Brown like Big Ben. He never had one of these other than Michael Thomas. Again, he made Jimmy Graham. It was an argument in that era that Jimmy Graham and Gronk were toe for toe. They were bad for bad. So I think that, and he was
2 years. You could say like
and he was putting up outrageous numbers, giving everybody the ball. Like other than Tom Brady, he was the guy that was giving everybody was getting a piece of the rock, man. And I'm giving Alvin Kamara, 1,000-yard receiver and catching seasons. Man, Drew Brees deserves a lot more credit than what he gets, man, as a quarterback. He just, when you look back, these younger kids who really go off of stats and they're stat merchants, when you bring up Drew Brees' name, they'll look up his stats and go, he ain't get no EVPs, yeah, he come Pro Bowls, nice yards, but they'll look at him as like a Phillip Rivers, how we look at Phillip Rivers in our time. Where Phillip have all these numbers, but Phillip just played in an era where like your team wasn't good enough to get the MVPs and shit. But Phillip was giving you numbers. Phillip Rivers was giving you 35 TD seasons, like, and I think another guy who's going to probably be in that era if the organization doesn't change, and hopefully Harbaugh does it. I think Herbert going to be another guy. We're going to look back and see Herbert going to have 5 or 6 5,000-yard seasons, but ain't going to amount to no MVPs, no Super Bowls, just a bunch of Pro Bowls. Maybe an all-pro here and there, but we'll look at him like, hey, man, it was other guys better. So
I don't know, man. He is Jim Harbaugh.
I said now with Harbaugh, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because if Harbaugh can really turn that thing around all the way, and I think Herbert will have the stats. Herbert, one of them guys that all Herbert needs is one MVP, one championship, couple Pro Bowls or all pros, and he'll easily be looked at as a Chargers great. Probably the greatest Charger quarterback of all time. And that's saying a lot when you've had Dan Fouts and you've had Phillip Rivers.
Yeah. We'll see.
With the NBA Finals coming in, we know it's a busy season. You guys will see us again Saturday. We'll wrap it up for the day. Saturday, we'll be talking about top 10. Was it top 10 all-time quarterbacks?
I think he was doing a quarterback season tier list.
Okay, season tier list. And I also want to do peaks. And hopefully we can probably do a top 25 offensive players on the offensive end Saturday too. Tune in Saturday, guys. Appreciate y'all for coming up with us today on these Wednesday during these finals. Hopefully by Saturday it'll be all said and done and we ain't got to worry about it no more.
I won't say because it might be over on Friday. So.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's our time, man. I'm Earl Cofield, of course. Early Cofield, of course. I got my boy Riddell with me. Shout out to Dad for coming out. Shout out to Lonnie. Shout out to Donnie for coming out. My man, Don. And look, we look forward to seeing y'all Saturday. That's us. We're gone. Open field.